This episode is sponsored by cruiseline.com, where you can review cruise prices using easy-to-use cruise search. Hey cruisers! In our last video, we shared 5 things we've changed about the way we cruise, and we're back today to round out the list with 5 more. Since we started cruising about 15 years ago, we've found that we have changed as people and as a family. So just like any other area of life that evolves and grows, our cruising style has too. Now let's start with the fact that we now love late dining in the main dining room, or MDR for short. When we first started cruising, we thought early dining was the way to go. We were more concerned with getting to the evening's entertainment and activities sooner. But now our overall dining experience has taken priority, and we've found the later seating to be more our style. We can take our time getting to dinner, and the wait staff aren't rushing around prepping for the next seating, so they are typically more relaxed and attentive. If that sounds good to you, then you should definitely consider the late dining time. It's pretty cool. Another significant change is that we now prefer less structured port days. We used to be those cruisers who would book the long 8-hour excursion that took us off the ship before the rest of the ship was done with their morning coffee. Now we book shorter excursions. We stay away from excursions that start too early in the morning. We're on vacation. We want to relax and enjoy it. Rushing through breakfast and standing in line to get off the ship is a buzzkill. Nope, we're not doing it. Of course, there are always exceptions, but the point here is to thoughtfully consider how the excursion you choose is going to shape your cruise experience. Okay, on to the next one. About a year ago, as we were roaming around the ship on embarkation day, we stumbled upon an embarkation day spa tour. My first thought was, nah, that sounds like a sales pitch. But we gave it a try, and now we're kind of hooked on these day 1 spa walkthroughs. This change kind of took me by surprise because I used to think these tours were a waste of time, since I don't typically like to spend money on spa treatments on board. I'm glad that I discovered that I was wrong. Why, you ask? First of all, you can get a sense immediately for whether or not you want to spend time in the spa for the rest of the week when you take a day 1 tour. And nobody's really getting spa treatments on embarkation day, so the whole spa area is usually open for snooping around and scoping it out. If you're lucky, you might even get a little mini shoulder massage from the staff leading the tours, or sample one of the latest products and services. You just never know. Of course, this doesn't apply only to the spa. Whatever it is that interests you on the ship, don't be afraid to take a guided tour if you see that it's available in your newsletter. Now, this one may seem a bit contrary, since I just told you that I don't usually splurge on spa treatments, but we now love spa cabins on ships. Many come with access to a thermal suite, and thermal suites are the bomb. While I'm not really down to pay $150 for a massage or facial on a ship that lasts less than an hour and makes me feel guilty for splurging, I am likely to invest in a weekly pass to a thermal suite. Some cruise lines offer spa cabins, which include access to the thermal suite and come with some other cool perks too, like close proximity to the spa area, fancy toiletries, and spa service discounts. If you're looking to up your cruise experience, you definitely want to consider these specialty staterooms. Lastly, our embarkation day routine is probably the thing that has evolved the most. In the early days, pre-kid, hubby and I would pretty much do the same thing on embarkation day every time we cruised. Basically, it led to camping out on our balcony. Every cruise was the same. We'd head to the buffet when we boarded, rush to our cabin to unpack, then head out to our balcony for sail away. And while we love that experience, we found that changing it up a little bit can be rewarding. Avoiding the buffet rush is always a good place to start. So now we're careful to explore other dining options. Sometimes alternative dining venues are open for lunch on day 1. If you're lucky, maybe even the main dining room, which is a much more relaxed way to start a cruise. There are so many things happening around the ship during embarkation. The sail away party on some ships is just too good to be missed. I guess the takeaway here for anyone that wants to take the cruise experience to the next level is try not to get locked into a routine. Routines can, of course, be comforting, but step out once in a while and you might be surprised. Thank you so much for coming back to hear the rest of this list. We want to hear how change has upped your cruise game in the comments below. Come on, help us out here. Let's all share. Don't forget to check out the first episode in the series as well as our podcast on the topic. We'll link to both in the description below. Until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye.